Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a brewery that I've heard a lot about, but this is my first time actually trying their stuff, so I'm pretty excited. These guys are from, I think, Waunakee, Wisconsin. I know back in the past I've talked about a brewery up in Wisconsin that kind of did a bunch of like subsidiary stuff where it's, I believe it's Octopi, where their facility, they brew other people's stuff. They brew stuff that is readily available in like stores like Aldi and all that stuff. Well, this brewery actually gets their stuff brewed at this location as well, because we're taking a look at one from Untitled Art this afternoon. And these guys are very interesting because they do a variety of different things. They make regular seltzers, they make CBD infused seltzers, they make non-alcoholic beers, they make delicious sounding beers, and that's one of them we got today. We got one of their double chocolate Fudgy Brownie Stouts. Look at that. That just, I don't know, the white washing it out, but you're not going to be able to see the Untitled Art like label just because the whole can's white. But yeah, this guy comes in at 11.7%, and I've heard a lot of good things about this one. My dad had this one and he said he really liked it. I think he put this up there on like one of his favorite beers of all time. practically one of his favorite stouts of all time, so I'm pretty damn excited. And so without further ado, I just want to drink this thing already, to be honest. So let's crack this guy open and see what this guy's like on the smell. I'm expecting, if they're describing as a double chocolate fudgy brownie, then I just want chocolate in my face times 9,000. And that's what I'm hoping to get. Holy, wow. Holy crap. I shit you guys not. It smells like a brownie. It smells like a fudgy brownie. That's pretty insane. So much chocolate on the nose. Probably not going to get much of like a bitterness to this. I think with them wanting to make this like a pastry stout, this could be very sweet, very syrupy. Just overall a very creamy and decadent experience. And I'm pretty damn excited. So without further ado, let's pour this guy and see what this thing's all about. Oh yeah. Look at that, just syrupy, barely any head, with it being 11.7%. Might be a little bit of a booziness, but not much. Has a nice, like, light brown head to it. But you could tell this has, like, a very creamy kind of texture to it. Just look at that. That looks absolutely delicious. Black as my soul, which is the way I like it. Still getting a lot of huge chocolate notes coming on there. The head's kind of staying a little bit. Let's see if we might get a little bit of lacing sticking on the side for the ABV. But yeah, that smells absolutely delicious. But before we get into tasting this bad boy, let's look here on Untappd just to kind of see if you can't get your hands on this one because maybe Untitled Art is not available in your area. There's some other suggestions that they put. If you look on Untappd, they have similar beers that are available. And unfortunately, two of the ones that are suggested on here are two other Untitled Art freaking beers. So you got the Trail Mix Stout from them, and then you got the Black Forest Cake Smoothie Stout from when they collaborated with Hubbard's Cave. So, but then we got some, let's see, the Rye Hipster Brunch Stout from Old Side Ales, and then you got the Cuvee Just Macadamia 2021 from Cycle Brewing. It's like a macadamia nut. So it's a bourbon barrel imperial stout aged for 20 months, then aged on macadamia nuts. So that sounds pretty damn delicious. But then you got one from, I really don't know how to say this brewery, but Morstilel Craft Brewery, where they have one called Spock, which is just it's a double pastry stout that they make. So who knows? Maybe the Spock would be something, or maybe that Rye Hipster Brunch Stout may be something available. Because I don't know, like the macadamia one. The bourbon might be a little bit too predominant to actually consider it being something similar to a pastry stout. Or, of course, I'd probably recommend this Black Forest Cake from Untitled Art, to be honest, too. But if you can't get anything from Untitled Art, I think I'm going to pick the Rye Hipster Brunch Stout to be the one to suggest. I think since it's a brunch, they kind of want to bring notes of coffee, chocolate, something that's, like, decadent for breakfast or kind of thing, or maybe making something similar to, like, having your first coffee of the day. But without further ado, enough waiting around. I want to try this thing. So, without further ado, let's do this. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Sometimes you just have a beer so good where it's just ridiculous. So, first thing you just get slapped in the face with chocolate fudge goodness. And it's just like very creamy, not really any kind of dry mouthfeel at the end. It's just a very, very creamy, not effervescent, just overall very syrupy going down the palate. Takes over the palate practically when it comes to just the amount of chocolate that's in here. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. Not really getting much of a maltiness. I think they want those chocolate fudge kind of flavors just to slap you in the face and be the most predominant flavors in this. And they did an absolute fantastic job in this. This is definitely, for a first beer that I've had from this brewery, they're kind of setting the bar really damn high. Holy crap. It's absolutely fantastic. Wow. It's just nice, sweet. There's a little bit of a booziness in there at the end, kind of that warm feeling you feel in your throat. But let's talk about Untitled Art here, because like I said before, they do all kinds of stuff when it comes to collaborating with different breweries, making seltzers, making CBD-infused seltzers, making non-alcoholic beers for people who just want to still taste beer but don't want the ABV of it. So it's a short story, but starting in 2016, they realized that the beer category in their area was a little bit stagnant. Fresh concepts and availability of innovation were hard to come by with the industry changing. And Untitled Art kind of took up the crafting of the art side of things, to where they take artists and kind of do stuff with the can art as well. It may not be your everyday like crazy can art, but they kind of stick to like some kind of art you would see in like art galleries and all that stuff, which is really cool. And then like love collaborating with different breweries. You see breweries they've collaborated with, like Cerebral, Drecker, Equilibrium. Let's see who else we got here. Hidden Springs, Microphone, More, Pulp Rock Brewing Company, Southern Grist, Tripping Animals, Voodoo, Weldworks. So they collaborate with a lot of different breweries, kind of come out. Aslan Beer Co. So they like collaborating, they like putting out some different stuff, and they kind of just really like making a classy kind of look to their beers, and having this overall really good experience with a nice classy label. It's just going to make an overall fantastic experience when you're drinking this, and that's pretty much what it's turning down to. Yeah, so much chocolate, so much freaking like fudgy goodness. It literally tastes like what they described as putting the inside of a fudgy brownie and making it and adding ABV and kind of making it drinkable. This is what they did, and they nailed it on the fucking head. So let's read what their description of this beer is. So, of course, let's see. Untapped does show a description sometimes. Sometimes you have to search on the website for the description, but Untapped has this one. So, what the description says is, pour some brownie into your cup and drink it with the latest and greatest 11.7% ABV double chocolate fudgy brownie stout. Our talented team of brewers figured out a way to liquefy a fudgy brownie center while also sneaking in some alcohol to ensure a dark, decadent pour. Every sip is followed by rich chocolate, blasted fudge aroma, and flavors are the procession of every chocolate dessert you've ever dreamed of. But what else do you expect when the brew is an entire drum of Hershey's chocolate syrup and a dash of cacao nibs and a couple hundred vanilla beans? Yeah, that's pretty much what you're getting on this. Very chocolatey, very fudgy, getting a nice kind of sweetness and kind of adding to that chocolatey note with the cacao nibs, and kind of overall adding like a nice vanilla balance with the chocolate. Adding the vanilla beans is a great kind of touch to do that with. And just looking here, seeing, I have a couple friends who've checked this one in. So of course, my dad checked this one in back in, okay, he checked it out in September. So what he says, so he has a favorite one from White Elm Brewing called Lick the Spoon. And he says this rivals the Lick the Spoon as one of his favorite stouts. And he gave it a 4.5 out of 5. And let's see, my uncle just didn't rate it. He just checked it in just because he wanted to. But let's see what some of these global ratings are. So like I said before, 11.7%, and with over 5,862 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.29 out of 5, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good if I say so myself. So let's see what other people had to say. This guy gave it a 4.25, another 4.25, 4.75, 4.25, saying very surprised and impressed with the ABV for what it is. Yeah, to be honest, it's so chocolatey, it's so fudgy that booze and like the alcohol content is not going to be noticeable heavily until you like have a couple of these and then you try to stand up, or you just sit there and drink and start feeling the warmth in the back of your throat. That's going to be the signs of the alcohol content. This guy gave it a 5 out of 5, another 5 out of 5, 3 5 out of 5s at a row, saying Thursday night, as long as you know going in this dessert and not beer, exactly what the name describes, and worth every penny. So let's see what other 4.75 purchased at Metcalf Market, which is in, okay, it's in, I don't even know what the name of that town in Wisconsin is. They have a bunch of Native American names that I can't pronounce, but let's see. What he said about it is, you know, this ticks all of my fucking boxes. Hell yeah. Awesome. And then another 5 out of 5 here saying heavy, thick, Rick and chocolate. I don't know who Rick is, but apparently it's that good to where he gave it a 5 out of 5. So overall, yeah, this is a dessert in a can practically. You can skip whatever dessert at the restaurant. Just give me this. This is absolutely amazing. So let's start figuring out what the hell we're going to do for ratings on this one. So first off, can art. It sucks that my camera is like whitewashing all the whites on here. So where it's like Untitled Art has like their token kind of can style to where you have the box that says Untitled Art right there. Let me see if I can get it to not, so you can see the Untitled Art right there. But Then they kind of put some art in the background. This one has some nice brown, like sticking to like the theme of the beer with it being chocolatey, fudgy. They kind of stick with the browns and stuff, having some kind of old like Native American kind of tribal wall painting kind of on the background. That just it's just you don't really know what it is, but it's fascinating to look at. Of course, Untitled art is that token kind of style to where it's white and then like art in the background, some kind of art you would see in the background. It's overall really, really clean, classy, and definitely puts them up there for like being that beer connoisseur kind of brewery. And I think they nailed it pretty damn well. So I'm going to give this one a solid 4 out of 5 for can art. Of course, I'm more into the very more intricate stuff, but I can appreciate them using like the old tribal art for this one, kind of being up in Wisconsin around the Native American kind of areas and all that stuff. So yeah, I really like this can art. And the one thing that I like to do is what I think is really cool that they do is whenever they have an art on their can, they actually show the artist. They tell you who the artist is on the bottom. So this one was Stephanie Heyman. I think it's Stephanie Heyman, or Hammond, I don't know. But overall, yeah, fantastic art. Clean, classy label. Don't have to worry about anything appealing to the younger crowd and all that kind of stuff. So overall, very, very nice. So let's see. If I got this beer in a flight at Untitled Art, if they have this stuff in flights over there, with it being octopi and all that stuff, would I get another one? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is probably up there with probably one of the best pastry stouts I've ever had. It's chocolatey, it's fudgy, it's every note that I look for when it comes to this kind of stout. It's not too sweet, of course. It's very, very decadent, very creamy. It just hits, like the guy said when we said in his check-in, it checks all the boxes for me. Hits every single thing that I look for. So with that being said, I think my final rating for this one, easy 9 out of 10. Easy, almost a 9.5 out of 10. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. 9.5 out of 10. There's really no flaws I can say about this one at all. For a pastry stout, this is almost practically perfection, in my opinion. It's that good. So if you can get your hands on this double chocolate fudgy brownie stout from Untitled Art, do it. Do it. Will, you'd be a fan of this. I know Ryan would be a fan of this. Ian, if you can get your hands on this one, you would kind of freak out for this. Knowing how much you like your stouts and you like kind of your creamy kind of pastry stouts. Yeah. Ian, this would be something that I'd drag my balls off over a desert of broken glass to fucking get another glass of this. That's how good it is. I know I didn't need to give you guys that much of a description of what I'd do to get this beer, but you guys get the idea. It's that fucking good. So, other than that, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's see if we got anything else. No, that's it. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It'll help me out a lot. And no, Will, I'm not boofing it. I think we already had discussion multiple times. I feel like that would be a difficult one to boof, too. I don't know. Just thinking about it would be. Ugh. But, yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. So if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell to let you know whenever I go live doing another review. Now that I have like a couple more days off before I got to go back into work for our beer release for Halloween, I'm going to crack out more reviews, so you can expect to see more content in the next few days. So I'm pretty excited to kind of crack through more beers and get the reviews back going again. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much it. If you guys want to see a social media aspect of this, of course, always going to recommend Untappd. It's a great platform where you can check in beers, get badges, see what your friends are drinking. You could see people like me, Ian, when Tucky's on there, Duchess is on there. We're trying to get Logan on there, so if you hit up Logan in his DMs, tell him to re-download Untappd and kind of force him to do it, because me and Duchess are trying to work on that. But let's see. Yeah, it's just a really fun little platform. You can download the app. It's either Apple or Android. You can do both, or you can even do it for your browser on your computer. It's just much variety in it. So, guys, that is it for today. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Of course, if you want to possibly get your hands on more stuff from Untitled Art, always going to recommend Savor. It's a great platform. You could do like a subscription-based service or a build-your-own-box kind of thing where I do it. They have stuff from Untitled Art dropping all the time that I see. I know I have a few more from them coming up for review, so I'm pretty excited about that. But other than that, yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to say it like I always say it, and we're going to get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend.